All right, what's up, guys? I am freshly shaved, freshly barbered, and I have a package here that just came in today that I have been waiting for a couple of months. And we're going to open it up together. It is from Henriksen amplifiers. Now, my jazz friends will probably guess what this is already, as well as any of my friends from the Telecaster forum. Let's get in here and see what all the hype is about. Now, you probably were looking at that box. Let me show it to you again before we get too far along. It's not that big for an amplifier. And that's not all amplifier in the package either, so when I said it's not all amplifier, I meant it comes with its own bag, which is kind of cool. Got a Henriksen patch logo on there. See if I can adjust this a little bit. There we go. So, yeah, it's got storage for your cables and supplies here. As well as a shoulder strap. So that's cool. But just to give you an idea, and this is pretty lightweight. According to the website, this only weighs about 12 or 13 pounds. So as amplifiers, even solid state amplifiers go, it's pretty lightweight. But the jazz guys that I've encountered everywhere online rave about these things. And I've watched numerous YouTube videos and listened to them, and they sound pretty good too. Here it is. Look at this little shrimp. This is the Henriksen Bud, the Bud 6 to be specific. I think it's got a 6.5-inch speaker. I don't remember all the details on it, but I'll put all of the technical specs and data and links to the website in the video description below. So, but let's take a look at this. It's got a not sure if this is, I think this is a metal grill. It's got a nice leather handle, very sturdy. Let's check this out. Dual channels. They make another model called the Blue that just has one channel. Part of the reason I went with the Bud instead of the Blue is that it also has, the Bud also has input gain and something else that the Blue doesn't. So, but independent channels of their own inputs, input gain, volume, low, mid, high, and presence controls, as well as built-in reverb. So that's pretty cool. A lot of this stuff is stuff I'm not going to use anytime soon, but could come in handy if I ever gig. There's a line out. There's a headphone out. There is a separate effects loop for channel 1 and channel 2. And I think you need a special cable for that, I'm pretty sure. I think this is a external 8-ohm speaker jack. And then there's a defeatable, by way of this little switch, there's a defeatable tweeter here. You look down here, there's actually a bass port that I guess goes down to the floor. It's supposed to help with the lows. And so pretty cool. Let's stand it up next to the little punk and see how they size each other up here. Look at that little shrimp. It's about, I don't know, about 30% the size of my Tweed Champ. in its Fiberlux size cabinet. So anyway, I'm kind of curious what this thing sounds like, so I'm going to grab a guitar here and plug into it and see what's up. So this is my first time playing this thing. Never heard it before. All right, so interesting. Right now the EQ is set flat. Presence is at about 9 o'clock. Let's have a little reverb in. I have to say, all right, so I have to say I am impressed already. Going from an old tweed circuit with a 12-inch speaker, ceramic speaker no less, I was really worried that this was going to sound very bright and not have enough low end or warmth, especially with like an electric guitar, a Telecaster, and I actually debated quite a bit between getting this or the Bud 10 with its larger speaker for that reason. But I have to say it it sounds really nice. In fact, I don't have to turn my tone way down anymore. I mean, the bass. So, just for comparison's sake, let's plug into the Champ and see how it sounds. And I'm going to bypass my pedal board just like I did with this one. That's the Champ on about 6.5. in the Bud now. So that first round through the beginning of Misty was in the Champ, the little punk, and the second time through was through the Bud. And what I don't know if it's coming through the video, but what I'm hearing is a lot more richness and harmonic complexity, surprisingly, coming out of the Bud. Now you have to understand, I've been a guy that's played tube amps exclusively for most of my life, going all the way back to before I even started playing in blues clubs. So this is a big surprise to me, especially considering it's such a small package. You know, you always expect small amps to kind of have that really thin, weak sound. And I know sometimes the Champ is, you know, they think that about Champs with the original 8-inch speakers. They thought that too, but then a lot of those rock recordings in the 60s were actually cranked Champs in the studio that were mic'd up. So I guess you just can't judge a book by its cover, but I'm really, really pleased and excited because this amplifier sounds like it's going to work for me for jazz, and I'm glad about that because ultimately I'm trying to just downsize everything in my life. I'm going to do a video about that coming up, about, you know, minimalism and how some things I went through last year have kind of really changed my attitudes towards minimalism. But this could potentially be a game changer for me because it may ultimately replace this tube amp and expensive tubes that are hard to get from unstable European and other countries that are at war that we won't mention. But it'll also be highly portable and versatile because with, you know, like the line out and speaker out capabilities, I can take it to a club that has, or, you know, a restaurant or something that has a PA, and I can run it direct into the PA. I can, you know, I can run it out into a larger cabinet if I need, you know, a more powerful speaker. I mean, this isn't even anywhere near what it's capable of volume-wise. It's on about 9:30, 10 o'clock on the volume, and the input gain is down to about 10 o'clock. So, but as an amp that, you know, has been lauded by archtop and acoustic players, I wasn't sure how well it was going to, the electric was going to translate on it. But what I'm pleased to find is that it seems to kind of give you a very transparent, natural sound, the sound of the guitar and its pickups naturally, and to reproduce it in a full spectrum harmonic frequency range. So that's exciting to me. Plus, you know, effects loop, stuff like that. I mean, I don't know what else I would need for effects with this, honestly, except maybe a tremolo pedal. I mean, this could potentially not only replace this tube amp, but could replace my rather expensive pedal board with a Wampler EQ pedal and a Tumnus, and then a Strymon L cap delay and Strymon Flint. You know, the delay I guess I'd probably keep, but everything else potentially, I mean, could be rendered obsolete, except for maybe the tremolo on the Flint, or, you know, maybe I'll just get a really nice tremolo pedal. But that's kind of cool and exciting. I used to be a guy that was always excited about getting more gear and new pedals and trying new stuff and building a bigger pedal board, and now I'm kind of going in the opposite direction. I didn't really do any videos about it, but a few years ago I noticed I was spending a lot of money on gear and trying out gear and demoing gear, but I wasn't really working on developing myself as a player, and I got frustrated. So that's when I started throwing myself into jazz, which is, you know, best presented dry into an amp, or maybe with a little bit of reverb or a little bit of tremolo for some movement to it. But and that's been good for me because it's helped me to become satisfied, number one, with what I have, which admittedly I'm satisfied with my guitars because I spent so many years trying different pickups, trying different neck shapes, different wiring configurations, and so on. So I've kind of got all that stuff dialed in. But, you know, when I was a worship player, I was always looking for ways to make my sound more majestic and beautiful for worship. And I'd go to church and play, and then I'd ask people in the congregation, hey, how did I sound on such and such? And they'd be like, oh, we couldn't hear you. All we could hear was the acoustic and the drums. And I got frustrated with that, you know, because I was spending a lot of money on effects and a lot of time on working out my parts, and I thought, there's no point to this. Nobody can even hear me. So I decided that I'd rather work on learning songs and developing as a player, expanding my chord knowledge, and so on. So that's been the primary focus of the last year. And I haven't recorded a lot of them yet, but I have probably about 24 songs in various stages of memorization and, you know, comfort level. And I'm going to start, I want to rehearse a few of them a little more. I'm going to start recording them this year, and hopefully get a bit of a repertoire of stuff recorded. At least just some basic arrangements, probably other people's arrangements, or, you know, my patching together of other people's various arrangements, until such time as I'm comfortable enough with them to start improvising. But yeah, that is the Henriksen Bud. Let me give you a look at it one more time. Let's get a look at it with the lights out real quick. Just because it lights up, and that's kind of cool. Look at it over there. A light in the darkness. Anyway, thank you guys for checking in. This video has gotten pretty long. I'll try to chop it down in the editing room, but I will be recording some stuff in the near future. You have not heard the last of this amplifier. And if Peter Henriksen is watching, nicely done, sir. Very nicely done. This is just flat EQ right out of the box. I haven't even started playing with this thing yet, but really, really impressed. So thanks for checking in. Dig you later.